est impossible pour moi. Petit à petit, les choses ont commencé à changer. A team of 4 women traveled to West Africa last month, and this is their story. First, meet Gaynell, the director of Women Serving God in West Africa and our team leader. Sherry, the veteran African traveler and beloved mama of many. Marie, the fresh face with almost a decade of missionary experience in France. And that's me, Jill. I would call myself the hype girl. Here you can see a few pictures of the place where we stayed, the Wycliffe Missions Guest House in the neighborhood of Djidjolé in Lomé, Togo. And we held our Women Serving God meetings in a church right around the corner, l'Église Baptiste Évangélique La Rédemption de Djidjolé.
So Jill, can you describe what the ministry of Women Serving God is all about?
Sure. Women Serving God is an equipping ministry. It's for women all over the world, and our goal isn't to reach every woman in the world, but rather to serve and to partner with church leaders to give them the tools to evaluate and develop ministries as the Lord leads them to do in their own community. We know that we're not the best person to teach a woman from another culture about the gospel. Truly, a woman from that culture is the best one to do that work. And so we're here just to partner with them, to help them, to support and encourage them. And that's really the purpose of Women Serving God.
So what does that look like practically?
Well, we ask the women to prayerfully consider a relationship with us, a partnership, and if they decide to move forward with that, then we evaluate their needs. We ask them what their goals are, and we develop a program that's specifically tailored to their needs.
And in West Africa, we don't just work in one church, nor in just one country, but Gaynell Newport and Janice Seville have spent over a decade developing a network of relationships with women leaders in churches in 6 different African nations. Right here, you see the women from various churches around Lomé, Togo, meeting together with the national leadership team of Women Serving God Togo. So for the seminar this time, we presented on topics of servant leadership and biblical womanhood, and the women also asked us to present on issues of women's health. And so I got to do a cooking demonstration and teach a nutrition class, which was a blast. And Marie had the opportunity to teach an exercise class and lead the women through a series of stretches, emphasizing the importance of stretching in the later years of life. Listen in.
La même bras et touchez le dos, tirez avant l'autre bras. Et relâchez.
As always, we were touched and humbled by how receptive the women were to our teaching and how excited they were to receive even our humblest offerings and the simplest of truths. Their enthusiasm, their faith, their hospitality, and their love for each other was contagious. And if we blessed them a fraction of the amount they blessed us, then I know we sent them home with something really precious. At the end of our time together, we had a special ceremony to celebrate all that had happened. We gave the women a diploma for completing the seminar, shared testimonies, sang songs, and danced, and exchanged gifts with one another as souvenirs of the new sisters and the new friends that we had made. But the party was just getting started. One of the reasons we went to Togo at this time was to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of Women Serving God in the country. And let me tell you, we can learn a thing or two from these women about how to throw a party. It all started with a parade. After a couple turns around the neighborhood, we marched our matching dresses inside, where Gaynell kicked us off by telling us the history of Women Serving God in West Africa. Then the MCs took over and debuted the hymn that they had composed, especially for the occasion. Here's just a taste of some of the other musical groups that came. They had choirs, children's dance troupes, and worship bands all there to help us celebrate. There were also powerful testimonies about how women serving God has changed lives. This Ave woman, giving a testimony in her native language, is talking about how she can't read and never went to school, so she didn't think she'd be able to participate in the Women Serving God program. But thanks to the women who encouraged her to come, she's participated in 7 seminars.
Toutes les richesses avec lesquelles les gens Amen. Amen.
Gaynell and Philo, the national director in Togo, cut the cake. Marie got randomly chosen to play a game and won a packet of biscuits, and we enjoyed spending the day with friends old and new. It was loud, it was electric and exciting, and we just loved being there with our African sisters, many of whom we'd met for the first time that day. One day we had the opportunity to travel north out of Lomé through the town of Palime to the small village of Adeta to visit with a group of women who are interested in starting the Women Serving God program there. We had the chance to share with them what Women Serving God is all about, but now it'll be Philo and her leadership team in Togo who will manage that relationship and help these women get the program started in Adeta. On our way back to Lomé, we had the opportunity to stop at a school for the blind, where several of the women in the Women Serving God program currently have a ministry. We got to visit with the students as they prepared for a special event the next day, and we also got a chance to tour a special facility they have there, a hydroponic farm, to teach the students some skills for living and also to make an income for the school to keep its doors open. We enjoyed looking into the tilapia tanks, and we even brought a couple bags of spinach home for our dinner. Overall, it was a great week in Togo, spent with wonderful women doing important and meaningful work. We enjoyed every meal, every conversation, every silly moment on the porch, even the moment when Sherry's apartment got flooded because of a burst pipe under her kitchen sink. We praise God for what He's doing in Togo, and we thank you for being a part of it through your prayers and your support. Marie and I weren't even halfway through our trip yet. It's true we were a little tired, but while Gaynell and Sherry were on their way back to Texas, we hopped a plane for Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso.
C'était impossible pour moi. Petit à petit, les choses ont commencé à changer. Moi qui pensais toutes mes nuits à me lamenter, j'ai vu soudainement sa main transformer celle que j'ai.
Here we are with the leadership team of Women Serving God in Burkina Faso, but we weren't actually there to give a seminar for Women Serving God this time. We were there for a different purpose. We were there to start a BTCL class.
So, what is BTCL?
Well, BTCL is a Bible training curriculum. We offer this intensive curriculum to teach people the basics of Bible study methods, an overview of every book of the Bible, biblical doctrine, and also some teaching methods that they can use in their ministries in the future. So they've had a BTCL class for men going on in Africa for many, many years, but we are about to start a new BTCL program for women in Burkina Faso.
So, why a women's class?
Well, the class has always been open to women. However, it's been really difficult for women in Burkina to complete the class. In fact, in the many, many years that they have been teaching the class, only 2 women have ever graduated. And one of them, it took her 6 years to complete the course. And so we really want to cater the class to the specific needs of women in this part of the world. They're busy with jobs and families and lots of responsibilities, and so this class is going to be tailor-made to suit their needs. Also, it's a great place for women to find fellowship with other female Christian leaders and to learn and grow from each other in a way that perhaps wouldn't happen in a mixed class. And so we're excited to see what the women's class will grow to be.
In order to gauge interest and to promote the program, Marie and I held a 3-day seminar for women from all over Ouagadougou who might be interested in applying for the BTCL program. We spent one day addressing issues specific to women, another day talking about the meta-narrative of the Bible, and a third day talking about Bible study methods. Here's a dramatic sketch from our first day. My friend Ba found me pretending to be somebody I'm not and explained to me that the only person that we need to imitate in order to be beautiful is Jesus Christ. Here's how the skit ended. Next, the women tried their hand at acting, and boy, are they good.
Je veux refléter son image. Amen. Vraiment, monsieur, pardonnez-moi. Pardonnez-moi. Amen. Dieu vous bénisse.
We taught them some simple hand motions for remembering the events of the Old Testament in chronological order. Here they are, practicing them.
La nation, Israël, Isaac, Esau, Jacob, Joseph, Oasis.
Babylone, viens. Judas est exilé. Judas revient. Zorobabel, le temple. Esdras, les peuples. Néhémie, les murs. 400 ans de silence et Christ.
One of the things that always leaves an impression is how the women pray together, choosing a theme as a group and then praying each one aloud as the Spirit leads them. And of course, we sang. It was another wonderful time with another great group of ladies, and our prayer is that many of these women will apply and find the time to complete the BTCL program. Once again, Marie and I were blown away by the hospitality of our friends. We were even invited to a wedding and seated with the special guests. And later in the week, we had the opportunity to travel outside of Ouagadougou to the west, to the district of the Muhun River where the Marca people live. The Marca were a largely unreached people group until Pastor Henri Ye began an evangelistic campaign there about 15 years ago. As the number of believers grew, they began to construct churches in the area, and a group of Brazilian missionaries came and started to translate the Bible into their language and opened a nutrition center. The Yeas and their friends continue to travel to the Marca country frequently to meet their physical and spiritual needs. In fact, last Christmas, they had a celebration with the children of the villages. Here's a picture that Henri sent me of the event. They gave out over 500 Christmas gifts that day. And imagine all that started with this one family, the first to become Christians in the Marca country. They continue to build churches. This is the 15th going up right now. And they have plans to enter even more villages, bringing with them the gospel of peace. Marie and I are back home again now, and we thank you so much for your prayers and support while we were away. We hope you'll continue to join us in prayer for the women of Togo and Burkina Faso.